I am now going to show how to scale logs on both the west side and the east side at the same time. Our first log is a Doug fir, 16 feet, 10 inches. If the dimensions are the same, they carry over to the east side. If we move on to our next log, it's 16 feet, 10 inches. On the east side, though, I'm going to change the diameter from 10 to 11 inches. We move on to our next log, 20 feet, 12 inches. Here I'm going to enter a 2-foot length deduction. I enter it for the west side. I then move to the east side and enter the same deduction. Save that, move to the next log, 20 feet, 13 inches. Here I'm going to enter a 1-inch diameter deduction. I enter it for the west side. I then move down and enter it for the east side. Go on to my next log, 16 feet, 12 inches. Go to the east side, and here I'm going to enter a square deduction. So I go to our deduction screen, I click on the square deduction, I enter the dimensions as being 6, 6, and 8. The 1 inch for the width and height are automatically entered into the calculation. I go ahead and save that and move on to my next log. For this log, I'm going to go ahead and change the species from Doug fir. I bring up our selection window, I filter by pine, I pick ponderosa pine. I then put my length in as 32 feet, my diameter of 14. On the east side, I do the same, but I also have to put in a second diameter. So here I put in 16 inches as my butt diameter. Move to my next log, 11-inch diameter. For the east side, I change the length to be 33 feet, diameter to 12 inches. Here, I make it a butt log as indicated by an X. I now move to my next log, 32 feet, 12 inches. Here, I'm going to put on a length deduction of 2 feet. On the east side, I do the same thing. Butt diameter is going to be 15 here, and I'm going to put my length deduction as 2. Log number 9, 32 feet, 12 inches. Here, I'm going to put a diameter deduction. Go over here, enter 1, go to the east side. This is going to be a butt log. I enter my diameter deduction. Here, I'm going to enter a 2-inch diameter deduction for the first segment. Then I'm going to go to the second segment and put in a 1-foot length deduction. Go ahead and save that. Go to our next log. It's going to be 48 feet. So that'll be a 2-segment log on the west side and a 3-segment log on the east side. 14 inches in diameter. Put on a length deduction of 1 on the first segment and a 2-inch diameter deduction. I then turn to the east side. Here I put my butt diameter in as 17 inches. I then drop down and put on my length deduction of 1 for the first segment, another length deduction of 1 for the second segment, and a 2-inch diameter deduction on the third segment. And with that, we'll wrap up our demonstration of how to scale logs on both the west side and the east side at the same time. Thanks.